Hello and welcome to SatTV. Now I'm pleased to be joined by Sulaiman Al Ali, Deputy Chief Executive Officer at Thuraya. Welcome, thank you for joining me today, Sulaiman. Let's start by talking about the company's vision and its role as a leading mobile satellite services operator.
Thank you for having me here today, and I hope this interview will be informative to our audience. So to talk about the vision of the company, Thuraya have a long history in the industry, and it started before the technology was even mature enough, and the guys took all the challenges and took all the efforts to bring the company to the stage that it is today in. And with that, Yasat came and acquired the company, and they are taking that legacy further to the future with a lot of projects and with a lot of hopes that we are going to capture a lot of opportunities with a new satellite, with a new product, with a new, technologies that we are going to implement within Thuraya. Moving forward from the current stage that we are in, we have already announced the T4 NGS program, which is the new satellite, and it's a new ecosystem where it combines the satellites with a new feature. We have the ground segment, and we have a new portfolio of product that will be launched in the future. So the vision after that is also for the T5, where the business plan is on place. We are working on maturing that business plan so we can move forward with also the T5 in the future. So this is just a brief, about what we are having as a vision for Thuraya.
You mentioned about the Thuraya 4. It's a next generation mobile telecom satellite. What does it entail? What applications is it going to bring to market?
The new program we call it the program Thuraya T4 NGS. It's a full program. It's not only let's say a new satellite. We are trying to revolve the whole components of the system, being from the satellite to the ground to the portfolio of a product. With the new satellite, we will have extended coverage, where we will be covering a lot of additional areas. We will have a lot of flexibilities. We will have extended security being in the satellite and in the ground. The capacity that we will have in the new satellite will be much more than what we have today. We will be competing really in the market with the advanced satellite. When we come to the ground segment, we are revolving the whole set of ground system components. We are adding the 4G component to it, and that will allow us to go to a new portfolio of product, and we will have the abilities to go from, let's say, whatever we have today, where the limitation is for 384 kilobits per second or 444 kilobits per second. We are taking that up, doubling it, and even above the double. So we will be reaching 1 MB and above in terms of data speed. We are maintaining the legacy and the strong voice component of our product. We will take it also to the next stage, and we are introducing all the new part which is related to, let's say, the IoT, the M2M, and all of these aspects that will bring, new business opportunities to us and to our customers.
Well, you mentioned about business opportunities, geographies, and sectors. There's quite a bit in the answer in that question. But what impact will the T4 have on business moving forward? And in which particular sector are you thinking the major growth will be for it?
We have a lot of growth areas that we are focusing on. The data is one. The voice is, we are trying to see how to maintain the need for the voice. It is something that everybody is talking about, that the voice is declining and the requirement for the voice will go down. But we believe that the requirement for the voice will continue, and that is an opportunity that will remain in the market for a certain period of time. When it's come to data, now the flexibility of the system that we are bringing on will allow our developers to bring a new data terminals, and also the flexibility, Richard, it is today you can go from small kilobits of data to the 1 MB and above that 1 MB. So that range of flexibility give you that that ability to introduce the IoT M2M, where that is by itself a new stream of business opportunities that we capture. And I mentioned also that the new satellite is coming with an extra coverage. That means we are tapping to a new market that we did not have the coverage before and we could not tap to. One of the most important elements is that we have a focus on is the maritime. And with maritime, the coverage and covering all the routes is very important and critical. So this is why we have added a coverage which will cover, that South Africa and also the Cape of Good Hope. That was one of the, let's say, biggest and busiest shipping routes that the shipping take. So that's also a new opportunity that we will be capturing.
It's always a challenge when you bring on a major program like this. What's the challenge for you? What's the immediate challenge?
The immediate challenge is it's the COVID-19 situation and the pandemic. It slowed down, let's say, the process and moving the wheel of movement. It was, I will not say stopped totally, but I can say that it was slowed down. And that slowness is the risk that we are trying to avoid, that the program will not be delayed. And until now, everything is moving smoothly, and we are still within the time plan that we are putting for our program. The second challenge that we can see is that we need to move fast. The faster you move to the market, the faster you have the impact, the faster you can capture the portion of the market that you are looking for. The competition is increasing day by day. We can see new theories. We can see a new, let's say, ways of doing the business, even new technologies. We have the LEO constellation that is coming. And that is somehow will be a disruptive to the market that we are in. But you need to capture it by being a fast mover to the market. I think these two things are what really we consider as somehow difficulties in the future.
You mentioned LEO. I don't want to spend too much time on LEO, but it's a disruptive technology. Would you say that the T4 program is a game changer for you?
For us, because we are developing something which is, let's say, different from what we have today, and we are introducing the capabilities of smaller terminals with a range of data rate that can be adjusted from, as I mentioned, few kilobits to above 1 megabit. And I think one of the big elements of success that we will have as Yasat and Thuraya is the combination of MSS and FSS solution that we can create. Today, we have in Yasat the capabilities of offering as a one-stop shop to our customer whatever capabilities he's looking for. So that is one of the elements that we are anchoring in, and will give us an edge, let's say, with our competitor in the market. And with this disruptive technology that is coming, I think, again, I will go back to my point where if you move fast to the market and you capture the market, to change from what currently you are working on and you're satisfied with, that will be taking a bit of time. But I think we have addressed all of these aspects of the disruptive market that is coming from the LEO constellation in our strategy going forward, being for Yasat and being for Thuraya as well.
Now, I'm going to pick you up on the Yasat there. Let's talk about the company structure. As a subsidiary of Yasat, what benefits does the group as a whole bring to the market, and how do you maximize the group synergies?
If you look into, let's say, how Yasat will look at it before the acquisition and after the acquisition of Thuraya, and is it making sense that Yasat acquired Thuraya or not? I think Thuraya was the missing part of the picture for Yasat, where we have a lot of success that we have in terms of C-band, Ka-band, and Ku-band, being in the commercial or in the government. Today in the UAE, we are the number one satellite provider for our government entities, being the military or different, government segment within the country. And even in the region, we have a lot of cooperation, and we are a trusted partner when it's come to government solution in the region. Now, the missing part was that you are working on the FSS field and you don't have the MSS. By combining these two together, today, the synergy between the system that we have. So in the ground segment, we are synergizing and integrating the system to work together. So if you are in the MSS and you want to communicate with something which is in the FSS, that is today possible, or the other way around. That flexibility and possibility was not available before. And today, you are capturing a new segment in the market, and you are adding to the trust that you had before with your customer, that today you have more solution and you have more flexibilities. Thuraya is a key, let's say, progress, or let's say a key of the vision for Yasat going forward. And this is why we can see that there is an investment of $500 million to this project of Thuraya. It's not a small investment that Yasat will be putting on this if they don't believe on it. So that's a testimonial that Yasat really, and Mubadala as a group also, they really believe on the Thuraya and moving forward with Thuraya project.
It's very difficult to have a conversation without talking about COVID. I mean, the world is affected, but what has been the impact on current business performance?
Richard, as you know that the lockdown that happened in the beginning of the COVID, when we started to take the real hype of this pandemic, it stopped all the logistics. And one of the major arms of our business is the logistics. We need to deliver our equipment to the countries around the world and to our customers to be used. So when the logistic arm stopped, that led to, let's say, a freeze on one important element. Thanks God, we have some of the plans that you put to mitigate your risk is that you try to plan for something which is, let's say, related to delay on delivery or a problem within the logistics, and that helped us on overcoming a lot of the downside of this pandemic. We have overcome the, let's say, majority of the downside of this pandemic. We got an impact, but the impact is not that is huge. Thanks God, compared to the rest of the market, I can see that the impact is really acceptable, and we have managed it in a very, very, let's say, organized and in a way that we have a result. Now we closed the Q3 and we are coming to close Q4. So the result that I saw in the Q3, it was really satisfactory. The decline is not that much, and I think what is coming next will determine how you are going forward. And that was a big lesson to all of the guys in the industry, how they really can plan to the future. So I think we have a good lesson learned from this pandemic.
And finally, let's look into the crystal ball. What are your views on where the satellite sector is going to be after the pandemic in the next 12 to 24 months?
I think the satellite industry, I can say it gained rather than lost because of the pandemic, because during the pandemic, a lot of connectivity were needed, and that connectivity were not possible if you don't have the satellite. The satellite industry is key element within the communication industry overall, and I think the future is bringing more and more to us with the cheaper the technology is going to in terms of building the satellite itself and building the terminals the new capabilities that we can see in the market with a small terminal that you can get a huge data rate, that is something that is opening new doors for the future. And I think the future of the satellite is going to grow. Other than, there are a lot of views that the satellite industry is going down, but being in this industry for quite a good time, I think I had that, let's say, thinking in my mind that the satellite industry will die, let's say, within the coming 5 or 10 years. But what I see is it's going totally in the other direction. So I think there are a lot of things that will come in the future that will make us, get impressed. The disruption to the satellite market will continue to happen with the new innovation that we can see. It's not only the LEO constellation. I think there are a lot more to come also.
Well, Sulaiman, thank you very much for your insight, and it's been a pleasure to speak to you today.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.